Now who wanna move close enough? Now who wanna move out of? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em. Yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange on bottle. Single bottle. Never stop it. To the beast of Eastern know them. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black, and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in the...
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I'm Dale Altman, joined by BSG on a Friday, baby, because Pork Chop is unfortunately probably not going to be able to be here again this Friday. All good. But yeah, I mean, we can start right there with Ryan's comment. He got a new agent, same one as Jamar Chase.
Dude, we were hoping for something like that. We're like, I was confused here, Dale. I'm going to ask you this. I thought Burrow and Chase had the same agent. That's where I got a little confused right here. So help me out here. I thought, because remember him, Jefferson, and Chase, I thought all had the same agent. I was confused on that part. But hey, no,
I don't think so. I don't think they do. But we know that this is Jamar's at least, and both are up for extensions. So, I mean, that should help figure out money, but at the same point in time, so I'm a little conflicted on it, right? I've gone back and forth, you guys know, all season. It's like, okay, do I want them to go all in with T and Jamar because I think T is so talented, don't let a top 5 player leave. You heard me say that, but then the injuries and all the games he misses, and it's like, damn, our defense really needs a lot of help. I'd love to see us sink the money into that, but it's almost like T is a proven commodity here. And then the tipping point for me to want to be like, yeah, do it, is just the fact that Joe Burrow wants it. If Joe Burrow wants it, and the fact he's putting, I like the fact whether it gets, honestly, I hope it doesn't piss him off if it doesn't get done with T, but I like the fact that he's willing to put pressure on them now to make moves.
Dale,
spend money.
You said it right there. You know what team look, I respect people that do and don't want T back, but you know what team I'm on? Make Joe Burrow happy. That's what all says it all for me right there. I mean, but Dave, he parts ways with Malgetta. And like you hear Burrow saying press conferences, I'd be disappointed if we didn't get T back. You know, we want T here. You tell me if that's a coincidence. All of a sudden, T switching agents right before free agency. Well, not right before, but near the end of the season. You tell me if this is all coincidence.
I mean, and with Joe's comments and, you know, T and Jamar, it definitely doesn't seem like a coincidence when you add all those things together. Maybe he was contemplating switching agents anyways, and it's just like, you know what, I really want to be here. And if so, you know, you want guys that want to be here, and we know how good T is and how much it opens up Jamar. And we'll recap the game Monday. And even though T only had 2 catches, 23 yards, Jamar was able to go off for 14 catches, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. So things like that, I mean, it opens up Jamar. You can't double them both, can't shade to both their sides. And then, you know, we still can continue to develop Yosavash as like a 3/4, same thing with Jermaine Burton, that you hope he can build and grow. But he's obviously, they don't trust him enough right now. So it would be one less position to have to worry about. And then as Trevor here says, you know, it worries him, and it does worry me too if we pay him. No. Are we just going to draft only defense? And maybe. I mean, I feel like you got to draft a lot of defense. I think we should have anyways, right? And you still – there's money to be spent. And if they make the cuts that they need, or Sam Hubbard restructures at minimum, but I mean, it's honestly, he should probably be cut. Him, Rankins, Geno Stone, potentially Zach Moss, and you open up like another $20-25 million toward the cap just by cutting those guys next year. And you're already projected to have like 60 to 80 million. You could have around 100 million, I think, is the projections in salary cap. So they can get these deals, and you can be creative too with the cap. It's not like, okay, Jamar signs and the average annual value is 40 million. The cap hit might only be 10. It might only be 10 million. Like, it's all with signing bonus and different things that I'm not an expert on, you know, Andre Parada, our buddy Santori, other guys like that. But go ahead, give your thoughts on that.
So, you know, Trevor, I get exactly what you're saying. Believe me, I understand why some fans would not do it. Not because of him being a player. You know, it's just, you got to pay the defense. I get that 100%. You know, I mean, when I look at the salary, they say you can make it work. I mean, let's face it, Hubbard, Rankins, some of these guys on defense, you got to cut to save. You can save money by cutting some of these guys. I mean, you don't want to see Hubbard go. Dale, you being a Buckeye fan, I mean, him being a local, it has to happen. But yeah, I totally understand why people will be apprehensive about it. I totally get that. But when Joe, I just don't want to see Joe ticked off like, well, heck, I said I wanted T back and they didn't get me T back. I just don't want to see Joe unhappy.
Well, and we've seen how we've gone backwards on defense. I think we need a whole new change with coaching-wise, and I think that can change a lot. But you also will still have money, as Chris Crowley mentioned there. You'll still have money for defense if you make the cuts you need to. Money to spend for those guys and for the defense. Extend Trey. Now, I mean, there'll be some people be like, no, you don't have all that. Yeah, well, you do. You can make it work. We see all these other teams do it, and they keep their best players, and then they also add pieces to that. And that's what the Bengals need to do, and they need to show their commitment to going all in, to paying the guys that are the best players on the team, that have helped grow this thing. And you don't want to go backwards on offense, though. No. We've seen us go backwards on defense, losing Bates, losing Reeder. No. So let's not go backwards on offense, but then let's make a D coordinator change. Let's continue to add pieces on the defense. Let's continue to draft more defensive players. Let's just get the right guys. Hopefully,
right. But
that's the way to go, I think.
Oh, go ahead, Derek.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. But no, I want to go to the – can we get to the – there's one thing I want to point out of the game that Lou did something that blew me away. Hey, guess what on third down? We actually blitzed the quarterback. We actually used Geno Stone to blitz. This is what happens when you blitz. The quarterback's – we play a prevent defense like in Madden all the time. The quarterback's going to have time to throw and somebody's going to get open. Blitz the quarterback finally. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, as Paul mentioned, is it sounds like Burrow says, I'm willing to do what I need to do to keep T here. So like Paul says, it sounds like he could potentially restructure. Now you got to have the money, the guaranteed money and the cash and all this and that. But why don't we do what we're seeing these other teams do, what we're seeing the Eagles do, the Raiders do? Who was the other team? It's the Bills. And they're bringing in these private equity firms, selling like 10% of the team, losing no control, and then getting like, I don't know, $500 million, $800 million, whatever the valuation of your franchise is what they're buying into. And you can sell multiple chunks of that. So like, stop being greedy, stop being stuck in your ways, stop wanting to win on your terms, and go out there and show this fan base that's very passionate for you guys. And show Joe Burrow, who's the best quarterback in the NFL right now, show them that you're willing to make the moves that you need to push this team over to the top. Because, I mean, after the win, we're 5-8. We're not out of the playoffs, but we're pretty much out of the playoffs this season. But we're too damn good to not be going to the playoffs and not be a serious threat to make a run to the Super Bowl.
Hey, 3% chance.
I'll take it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what we're going to do is we'll just it'll be called Dale's Dome at Paycor Stadium, and you'll pay the Bengals. They'll have complete ownership rights, and they'll have like $500 million, and they'll put it towards the dome, right? Instead of towards the players.
Sure, I got an extra $500 million laying around.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about with the private owner equity or whatever the fuck they call that shit, is that they'll spend it on the stadium renovations as opposed to spending it on the team.
Yeah. Well, it's always a concern that they do anything that puts extra money in their pocket, any direction, because they know they got to upgrade the stadium because it's something that has to be done.
Right.
You have to keep up with that. You can't let your stadium fall apart. But I don't know. We can hope the best for that. But T, what are your thoughts on T staying, Derek? We pretty much said, I go back and forth on building a team, but I think they can have enough money to do the other things they need to do. Plus, it just makes Burrow happy. I think that's the way to go. Burrow wants
exactly. It's, and I think Paul Dehner was talking about this today on their Growler podcast. Is you don't want this to turn into a Carson situation.
No.
Carson asked for things and didn't get them. If they do the same exact thing with Burrow, Burrow's saying T is a need, then T is a need. plain and simple. And you do what you got to do to make it work.
And I would be disappointed, flat out. Yes, that would be very
Yeah.
disappointing. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
no.
well, let's not do that.
No, Derek, like
Yeah.
as I was telling Dale before you hopped on, I said, look, I understand both sides, but the team I'm on is team make Joe happy.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah, and I want to win out. Like, that's if we don't get in the playoffs, whatever. But win out, I think Joe should be in the MVP conversation. More wins is going to continue to put him in that conversation, regardless of playoffs or not. And Jamar Chase, man, what a special season. Still in the running for the Triple Crown, leading those categories of catches, yards, and touchdowns. Because, as we mentioned, we haven't had a show since the Monday Night Football game. So we'll just recap a little bit with some of the stats. The Bengals pulled out the win, 27-20. Close game. The Muma Jongmeta with the play of the game saying, here, go block this punt so your guy will touch it, and then I'll recover it. He knew what he was doing the whole time. He's a fucking genius. Well done, Muma Jongmeta. This man's playing fucking chess, not checkers. This guy knew exactly what he was doing with that. But, yeah, so then we were able to score with Jamar Chase and pull out a late tight game where the defense looked a little better. Lou brought some things we hadn't seen. Now, I'm not going to be on, well, I hope this saves his job because the man – it shouldn't have got to this point for you to be rolling these things out, buddy. But I like the things we see.
Bounce.
Like Hendrickson basically lining up at linebacker, coming on that delayed
I love
blitz.
that. I love that.
Was, there was some creative things that I just loved. Brought Geno Stone on a blitz. Geno Stone had his best game as a Bengal. Maybe, and that's I refused. CTB had a good game. I want to mention that, but I refuse to believe we're devoid of talent. There's talent on this team. We just haven't been utilizing it on this team.
Right.
There's no reason that these players should be getting it. There's no reason. Toot my own horn. Here you go, Crypt Keeper. But there's no reason. I love Joseph Asai coming out of the draft. I'm not the only one. A lot of people did. That seemed like a steal in the third round.
Yes,
there's no reason
I was
you're not getting more out of Miles Murphy. Yeah, a little raw, but 21 years old coming out. Just a ball of clay, great athleticism, great size, all the things you want in a defensive end, especially the Bengals. And there's no reason that you haven't molded him to be more dominant yet. I just feel like a lot of things they do almost holds these guys back. It doesn't let them show their true potential at position. There's got to be something, right? Because I just refuse to believe. And just like, Cam kind of fell off a cliff there for a while this season. He's bounced back a couple games. Need to continue to see it personally. Like, I'm not saying, he's back. Like, I feel like it's trending upward, which is good. We need that, right? Dax Hill, DJ Turner, they look good. I think our corners, once again, are not devoid of talent. Josh Newton, I think he's a guy. He's going to have some growing pains. Guess what? We knew that. We talked about that. We said that. He's going to have some ups and downs. You're seeing some of those downs. But guess what? There's no other way to get a guy some live game reps, and picking up a Marco Wilson at corner. He made some plays in that game. So kind of overall, Joe Burrow, 369, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. We talked about Jamar Chase, 14 catches, 177 yards. Trey Hendrickson, a big sack at the end of the game, came on that blitz and missed that one, but still caused a lot of pressure, caused a quick throw. Chase Brown, 14 carries, 58 yards. Chase Brown also second most catches, second most receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown with 6 for 65 in the tutty. So Chase Brown, over 120 all-purpose yards. He's been phenomenal lately. He's a guy. Yeah. You've got a guy at running back that you got in the 5th round. You've got a lot of these pieces for the offense. You still need a couple guards. You still need Orlando back for next season. And you need a defense and a defensive coordinator, ultimately, that will do these things from week 1. Not, hey, we're 4-8, fuck it, there's nothing to lose. No, that should be the mentality all the time. Not set back and rush 3 on 3rd and long. But we'll kick it around the horn just to finish covering this game, to wrap it up since we didn't have a show. Game balls, offense and defense. I'll get both of your thoughts. Game balls, offense, defense, Cowboys-Bengals game.
Who goes first?
Go, you.
Okay, I'll go. We're starting with offense, right?
Offense and defense.
Offense, okay. Offense, Chase Brown. He was phenomenal. He was getting yard. He got some big yards times. He's good receiving and running. And defense, CTB. I mean, 2nd game in a row. He's been really stepping up well. So happy to see him really playing well. So those are my 2 game balls, Chase Brown and CTB.
I'll let Derek go because there's still some softballs out there.
All right. Offense, I'm going the one guy that was one-on-one matched up with Micah Parsons, Amarius Mims. No sacks allowed. He did give up some pressure, but, I mean, when you're going against a guy like that and as quick as he is and as big as Mims is, for him to put up with him step for step, I got to go with him on offense. Defensively, I'll take the softball and say Trey Hendrickson, man, because he just continues to show that I'm just going to say it, defensive player of the year. How do you not? And I get it. The defense as a whole has been rough, but for him to do what he's doing when he's basically been the only guy out there, I got to go with him for DPOY.
And I will take a very easy one for my offense, and that's Chase, who I already mentioned with the 14 catches, 177. Listen, Burrow's easy too, 33 of 44, 369, 3 tutties. So him not getting one is almost criminal. I'm going to say Chop would have gave it to Burrow. He's not here.
Yep.
I'm giving Chop honorary game ball. I mean, Zach Taylor will hand those fucking things out like fucking hotcakes. So
yeah, which actually, Joe Burrow, 6th game in a row with over 303 touchdowns. If he gets one this week, he'll be tied for 3rd in NFL history for 7 games in a row.
Yeah, can't beat that. And Jamar Chase also had a carry for 14 yards. So the man can do it all. He's incredible. Glad he's here. Now he's going to get paid. Should have had that done because price tag's only going up, but you got to pay it. Period, point blank. And on defense, talk about eating crow, boys. I done mention him, but Geno Stone had his best game as a Bengal, had an interception, had a sack, had fucking all over the place, the highest graded PFF guy on the defensive side of the ball. I have shit on that man all season long because he's played like shit, to be fair, beyond like a game or so. But, man, he played really good. And to me, he's still auditioning if he's going to be here next year or the year after, because you could cut him and save some money. So if there's any signs that he doesn't do what he did in that Dallas game, I say, woo, you gone. Because I don't think that was a phenomenal offense we were playing either. So I don't want to put everything on this one game to say lose safe, Geno Stone safe. Right. No, come on now. You can't react that quick off the one game from what we've seen all season. But for this one game, I will give my defensive game ball to you, Geno Stone, as an olive branch to stop sucking. If you stop sucking, I'll stop talking shit. I feel like that's a fair agreement between fan and player.
Hey, I'll give another honorary game ball. Cade York didn't miss a kick and with his girlfriend.
Trevor had that, so he said special teams in general, but Cade York. But you added the cheerleader who got a lot of pub there, so she knew what she was doing.
It's sort of similar to that. It kind of brought me back a little bit, not too similar with Brady with what was AJ Hawk's girlfriend was Brady Quinn's sister, and every time you saw her, she was like, "Woo!" That's what it kind of brought me back to.
I mean, that he fucked real good that night. You think they made him get on the plane? You think they let him just stay in Dallas that night? At least?
They let him stay in Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking kicker. Come on.
Yeah. And also, honorary game ball to, and I hope I say it, is it Bricks? The boy that Jamar Chase was.
I believe
friend?
so. I believe so, yeah.
With one hell of a mean mug, dude. I love that video.
Yeah.
He did the Joe Burrow mean mug.
Well, and all the best to that kid. I mean, I couldn't imagine too. And the whole family really, because to be a parent, we have kids, Derek, and it's one of the worst things you could imagine. So keep fighting, and shout out Jamar for being a great man, a great player, and a great man off the field. So
absolutely.
You love to see it. Did you put in over-unders, Derek? You want to do a little of that?
Of course I did.
Oh, I mean, you know what? Before we get to that, one of our proud sponsors of the show, Midwest Best Barbecue, it was said on Twitter, everybody mark your calendars March 15th. That we will be doing a live show at Midwest Best Barbecue at 3:30. We are so looking forward to this.
If you want to see all of the prep work we do for stuff like this.
Chaos. If you want to see me we did one other one and we had Shane Gray. We don't plan on having a guest this time. I don't want that pressure, to be honest. I want to have one, try it out, maybe in the
Toe.
future.
I had Joe Burrow. I'm going to call Joe Burrow back and say we're canceling.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, tell
I don't want the
him
pressure.
maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
We'll check our calendar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
one
gonna be a fun
with
time.
Shane Graham was very stressful, but I'm excited about this. Honestly, Midwest, because the draft event we're planning to have at the Foaling House. So we're not going to have it at Midwest, and we still probably have some Midwest, by the way. That's it's in talks
absolutely.
about, catering with that. So I can't officially announce anything like that, but can say Foaling House is definitely on for day 2 of the NFL draft with Project Game Day. A lot more details to come on that as we continue to finalize everything.
And also March 15th, third week in March. And those of you who follow Midwest Best closely, it is Rib Weekend that weekend also. So that's going to.
I haven't tried the ribs. Want to try the ribs? They got the new boneless wings. You never know what else they'll come out with between now and then. So
let me say something, Dale. When I tried those boneless Grippo wings, I thought of you. I just kept shoving those ball boneless wings in my mouth and I got a deep throat for all those little ball wings.
I believe it.
And they were hot too, man. They were very hot, man. Have you ever put anything hot in your mouth like that?
I mean,
some spicy nugs.
I mean, me and Derek do ride together, so.
No. The boneless wings are awesome. Dale, the Grippo boneless wings. I got that. I thought of you. I'm like, oh man, Dale's gonna love this.
Well, the Grippo wings in general. If you don't like the boneless, you want those are my all-time favorites. I've only also had G-Funk, but Greg's had them all. He can rank for it, but we won't get into all that right now. Go try them for yourself and judge them for yourself. Yeah. You got the CTB, you got the Dillinator, you got G-Funk, you got my daughter's favorite, the Kick and Garlic.
I tried that too. For
my favorite, the Grippos. I mean, y'all can have your own favorites, man. They got so many that are amazing. They're amazing people.
Yes. Yep. Every time you go there. Derek, what was your favorite wings? I took you there one time.
Oh, mine's the Dillinator. 100% the Dillinator.
Yes. One time I ranked the wings. I had Dillinator number 3, and Corey commented. I'm like, uh-oh, and all that. I'm like, Corey, don't get mad at me. But no, he was cool. He understood.
No, Corey. Corey was actually going to be the special guest March 15th, but he said no because Dillinator was ranked 3rd by Greg. So blame Greg.
I like them all. Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm excited for that. I'm nervous because the last one was a damn disaster. Derek knows how fucking frustrated I was that day. But I want to do this again. I want it to be fun. Hopefully people can come and give them some business for letting us do a live show at their place. That would be a great, something for them. And it's right after free agency kicks off. Free agency officially starts on the 12th. We're doing this on the 15th. So there should be plenty of Bengals talk. Plus their food's amazing. So if you can, swing by Midwest Best Barbecue. March 15th, the show will be at 3:30. I don't know what time we'll be there. If you want to get there at 2:30, 3, whatever, and then show at 3:30. We'll go half an hour, see how much there is to talk about, hang out, whatever, eat some good food. Should be a good time, man, on a Saturday, March 15th at 3:30 at Midwest Best Barbecue.
Absolutely. And if anything, if we don't have any live viewers, which, I mean, I wouldn't blame them because we're a bunch of fucking idiots. But
Derek, that's the way to sell it. That's how I would sell it.
At least Midwest Best Barbecue will get a humongous tab from the Bengals and Brews.
Yeah, because all mine's on Derek. He did not agree to that.
I did not disagree on that either.
Yeah, he'll get me some beers. It's fine. So Matt asked a question. I was getting ready to put the over-unders, but I'll get back to the chat for a minute. So Matt asked a question. Do we need tickets for Nope. This is no tickets. This is just us doing a show there. Come in. I can't make you get something to eat, but if you're going to come, I hope you at least get something to eat, something to drink, to give them some business is the only thing I would ask people.
Yes.
But it costs nothing to cut. It's just we're doing a live show. Yep. We're going to talk some free agency, and I want to try them boneless wings, and I want to try the ribs myself, and my family loves it. So they'll be with me. So it's just something to do, man. Matt, appreciate it. He says he'll be there. So yeah, we only announced it. I know it's a long time away, but put it on your calendars if you get a chance to stop. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's always best to announce things after a win.
Yes.
which is why we decided to do it now because we
Yes.
don't know what the rest of the year is going to
Ryan, don't make me horny. He said
No,
maybe,
I was going to say,
maybe
if
Will
a free agent,
Williams and Will Freeze or Fries. I still don't know.
if a big free agency like that happens, I will do the dot bot shirtless in the parking lot or something. We'll think of something.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully we have a couple signings, at that point, because free agency comes fast and furious, and that's literally like 3 or 4 days in. So, and if not, you'll just watch us bitch in person because we'll be like, "What the fuck are we doing? We're not signing anybody. This is bullshit."
Yes, we will.
That's a preview if we have.
Well, we don't want to be scared off customers or anything.
I never made any kind of promise that.
That's true. That is true. No, but
I wouldn't go ballistic. Bengals? I said in a live show.
But no. But
Mike
please,
Brown.
It's going to be so much. It's going to be a good time. We hope you all can make it out there.
Mike Brown and Duke Tobin. If you love Tim and Nicole, you will sign people.
Yes.
Yeah, T-Bowles, I know you're like 3 hours away, buddy. It's not a big deal if you can't make it. But yeah, if you're feeding for some Midwest Best barbecue, and honestly, if you got to pick one, this is where, because there will be tickets for the Foaling House for the draft event to raise money for Project Game Day. I prefer, if you're picking one to do, instead of coming in March for our thing or coming to the draft, I would say to come for the Project Game Day thing, which we should also be at since we're part of that. But if you can make both, great. But if you're like 3 hours away and you got to pick one, try to get tickets for that event because that's going to be at the Foaling House, and Lord knows what we could have drummed up for that event. Because there's some things. There's some talks. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say. I can't give it away. I can just tease.
Derek, what are you doing, man? Why do you got your
phone right
there?
Derek put us in the position of being the female, like, ooh. Like, why did we want that? No one wanted that view, bro.
I thought I turned my camera off.
Weekend banger, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, Ryan's 8 hours away. But if he's visiting family.
Hey, if you're visiting family, please stop by, bro.
Well, I teased you guys, but then Derek teased you guys by putting that camera down there like you were a chick in his vehicle that he was trying to get some roadhead from. Like, hey, why don't you just go on down there and suck my dick?
While you're down there.
Hey, fella. I assume it's a fella because it's Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titans are trash. Titans are trash so far this year, Ben Dover.
Yeah.
Got to say his full name when you say it.
Yep.
Titans are trash, but it's the NFL, and they got good players, and they get paid a lot of money, and Brian Callahan's going to know this team. So that's one thing for me. I'm curious to see how much Brian Callahan, can cook up against this Bengals team and how much they can use what he knows against him. It should be a fun little chess match, I feel like, for this game.
Yeah.
And also, if we're not going to sign T, be like, hey, we're going to tag him and we're going to trade him to you guys for Jeffrey Simmons. Just saying, you can have those conversations.
Remember also, according to one betting site, Jamar Chase is the favorite to sign with the Steelers, even though they're not smart enough to even know he's not even a free agent after this season.
Yeah, Greg, and you post that shit. You share that shit with us, and we're like, Greg, what the fuck? Greg, you ain't got to share everything? Like, yeah, Jamar Chase is going to be a Steeler next year, guys. That's, according to Bovada. Like, who gives a fuck? That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Just
not happening.
Not happening. Come on.
All right. Over-unders. Maybe. I hit the thing. Took a while to pop up. We will start with player passing yards. And we got the mayonnaise eating. That's all I got. What else does he do? Bananas sucking.
You know what, Dale? Normally I don't have confidence in the defense, but maybe I'm going to go under here with Will Levis.
211.5 yards is the over-under. Greg says he's going under.
I'm going under.
He's got a strong arm. He can throw the deep ball. I'm just saying. Our defense, I still don't trust it. Go ahead, Derek. Derek said, I will not talk.
I'm going to say, can you guys hear me? Because I know.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
We heard you the
I was
first
going
time.
to say I'm coming through this bad spot in 275, but
He's coming.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Jesus.
For the fifth, we heard you the first time.
And the second. And now the third.
Anyway, I'm going to say under because I had an 8-leg parlay built last weekend.
Oh, Jesus.
I hit 7 of the 8 legs.
Oh, Jesus.
The one that I didn't hit was Cooper Rush over 200 passing yards. And I cannot believe for the life of me
Wow.
that our defense did not do that.
To be screwed over on an 8-leg parlay because our defense.
Oh, it hurt.
That's fucking hilarious.
That is
It
hilarious.
hurt. It hurt my soul.
I mean, it hurt you, but it's fucking hilarious. Like, 200
let me
yards.
just say that was an easy $300 and something I thought I would have got.
What did he have?
187.
For a defense.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That is.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for
No, you can laugh all day long at my pain. So yeah,
Yep.
for that reason and that reason only, I'm going under.
I'll go over just because show me again, right? I don't trust our defense. It was 1 week. Josh Newton still gets burned a little bit. Marco Wilson played a little more limited snaps, looked good, but a little grabby. Still kind of wonder about his like ball skills when the ball's arriving, you know, because he saw that one and it was still completed earlier in the game. It was like he's seen it the whole way and still didn't get it. So I don't know. There's a reason he was cut. But, I mean, I'm happy we picked him up. He definitely helped us win that game last week, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think we're still a little shaky. And CTB, as good as he's played for a couple weeks, I need to see it again. So I know that they're not a world beater, especially their wide receivers. But I assume Calvin Ridley will play. I don't even know who else they have. They traded Hopkins, obviously, to the Chiefs. But – yeah, they got some guys. Maybe we'll see here in a minute who all they have. But I'll say over just because I don't trust our defense. And Levis can get a couple deep bombs. But you know what? He might not. I like you guys' under, but I'm going over. And we'll move on to Burrow, and I'll kick this one off. The over-under is 268.5. I think I'd be dumb to say under at this point.
Dude.
As you mentioned, Derek, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 straight games. Well, let's keep that train rolling. I do think Jeffrey Simmons Arden Key, fucking Harold Landry, all these motherfuckers they've got on defense are pretty good, and Callahan will know our offense a little bit. But the way Jamar Chase is playing, the way Joe Burrow is playing, I can't see Burrow going under 260. I can't predict going under 268.5.
Yeah, no, this is a no-brain over for me.
Easy over. I mean, he's going to get 300 yards. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm still in the chat, though. Just popping some comments up here. Appreciate
Now,
everybody.
I will say this. If you guys want to talk about it, I didn't put it in there, but the rushing yards, they only had Chase Brown in there. They did not have, I think, is it Tank Bigsby is their running back? Because he's still questionable.
No, I thought the one guy was a running back from
Or
Dallas.
Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard. That's my bad. Wrong team. Tony Pollard is still questionable. So they didn't have his yardage up there. So Chase Brown was 66.5.
Yeah, and he's been eating in the passing game.
Yeah.
You know, almost more than the run game, which is why I took the under last week, and I think he did go under, but he still had 60, you know, so he's right around that. And I still think he's due to break one big one off. So I'm going to switch up this week, and I'm going to say over on that for Chase Brown, just because he is playing phenomenal football. So I think he gets 80 rushing and another 40 receiving. Like, I just think he's playing great football. He's around that 120 all-purpose yards again.
Yeah, over the past 5 weeks, the all-purpose yards leader, do you know who the number one guy is right now?
Is it Chase Brown, since that's who we're talking about?
Number one guy is, I think it's Justin Jefferson. I'm almost positive it's Justin Jefferson. Number two, you know who number 2 is?
Oh, well, I feel like you teased us there. It just made me look like an idiot. Is it Chase Brown?
It's Jamar Chase. But do you know who number
What?
3
Oh,
is?
my God. What the fuck,
What
Derek?
the hell?
Number 3 is Chase Brown. The last 5 weeks, he is number 3 in all-purpose yards.
Oh my God. Definitely is not getting the talk he deserves.
No, he's playing great football. He is in fantasy circles, by the way. They've seen a lot of love for him, fantasy football guys, because it's like playoff time or playoffs already started, depending on your league.
Well, in our fantasy football league, I thought I was a genius by taking the third round and my ass is out of the playoffs. So
Yeah, you're in the toilet bowl, bitch.
yes, screw you.
But I think Kieran's going to take that because he stopped playing. So good chance Kieran is the toilet bowl winner for the worst season, which will happen when you stop halfway through a season.
Yeah.
But Tony Pollard, I don't know. What do we want to say? Like 70? Let's just say 70 for the fuck of it. 69.5.
There you go.
If Tony Pollard plays, and I'll go over because I think he's a majority of their offense. He's having a good season. I'll go over for Pollard if he plays.
I'm gonna say slightly under, and I'm gonna take the over if you were to do like 100 receiving and rushing. I think he would go over that.
Yeah,
because I can see him getting a lot of check down.
I'm going to go under.
All right, we'll move on now to the graphic, and that's player receiving yards. So first up is T. Higgins. Potential new agent T. Higgins, by the way. New agent, same as Jamar. We talked about to begin the show, so check it out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. You know, that's a shameless plug. But T. Higgins, 66.5 yards, over under. Man, last week, you know, I was like, oh, he's going over, blah, 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 blah. And he didn't. Ugh. So I am 100% recency bias here that I'm going to also say under, that he has like 40 or 50. I think Jamar's just eating, and him and Joe are so in sync, which we'll get to next, Jamar. But I'm going to say under, but I think T still has a good game, 40, 50 yards, maybe a tutty.
I'll go. Oh boy, I'm back and forth. I'm going to still say under right now.
I'm gonna take the over because if anybody can shut Jamar down, and I know it's hard to, you can't really shut Jamar down, but I feel like Callie would be the one and only guy that would have an idea of how to try. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say T gets more yards than Jamar this week.
I could see it. Like, honestly, I don't think that's crazy at all. I could see that happening just because it's pick your poison, right? Which is the reason you say re-sign him. Pick your poison. You want to give all this attention. The Cowboys were like, nah, we're gonna single cover him. We're gonna do this and that. Well, how'd that go for you? 14 catches, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 being the game winner later. Didn't go well. So, moving on to Jamar, 89.5. That is a high-ass number. But right now, he is playing like the number one wide receiver in the world. So, I will say over.
Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. Over. Big time.
I'm going to say under. Like I said, I think he gets more than, or I think T gets more than him this week. So, and I'm not going to say he gets, I'm maybe like 80 yards in a tutty.
Well, there was 2 or 3 weeks where I would take the under, and it would happen to where he was getting like 6, 7 catches, 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He was still being efficient, but T was eating once T came back. And I could see that happening because when he has a week like that and you can't say single-handedly, but fuck, yeah, he kind of single-handedly won that fucking game for us against the Cowboys. He was fucking dominant. 14 catches is insane. On Monday Night Football, in prime time, on the road. So, I don't know, man. I could see what you're saying, but I got to go with.
One wrinkle that this team has that it didn't have last year, and I think they might utilize it more, and we'll talk about it here in a minute, but like you said earlier, Dale, Chase Brown in the pass game and also the tight ends. We utilize the tight ends a lot more.
Yeah, even Sample was getting a catch or so last week. A catch, which for him, that's good. and Gesicki had a catch or two. I don't know what it was. Nothing spectacular, but
He had 2 because it was part of my parlay.
oh yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah, you thought it was going to fuck you. Yeah, one of your 800 part. You know how he lost the other one, guys. He might have hit this. He did hit this one. Calvin Ridley for the Titans, 66.5 yards. They don't have much, right? The other people on here is Nick Westbrook Akine. That's a made-up name. Yeah. Chigaziam Okwonkwa. I think he's a fucking tight end, but that sounds like a made-up name. That's the other guys from the Titans on here, so I'll go over on the 66.5. Just because I think Levis could hit a deep ball or two, and Ridley's a speedster.
Yeah,
so
I'll go over. That's fair. I'll go over.
Yeah, I'm going to say over as well, just because I need him in fantasy football.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy. And moving on to Chase Brown, who we've talked about a lot, had 65 receiving yards last week. They got him at 28.5. Man, I don't see the train slowing down on him, whether it's rushing or receiving. So I'm easily over on the 28.5. Shit, he'll probably double it. He should double it. He's that fucking good. And him and Joe have a good chemistry right now in there because it's even on scrambles. It's on plays that weren't designed for Chase Brown. And Chase Brown has showed the hands, the things he worked on in the offseason. So shout out Chase Brown. Shout out Joe Burrow. Shout out the over.
Absolutely. I'm going over as well. Like you said, I might even bet this one up to like 40 yards, 45 yards and take the over on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go slightly under. I got plans for another target.
And we all know
is that target right now Andre Yosevich 22.5?
Yeah, but by the way, so funny story. I never win anything. I woke up one morning.
Bullshit! Don't feed me that line of bullshit. You win everything, Greg.
All right, no.
I
just give me time to say I also won a Skyline gift card.
Oh, another one? You've won like 18
I won a Skyline gift card. I didn't want to tell you guys, but yeah,
I didn't want to tell you guys.
He's like, I just got a lifetime supply of Skyline, and
it was only $15 though, but But no. Shout out to Tigers Talk. I don't know if any of you saw the video. I was like in the back at the last second. I won. I swear it was not rigged or anything.
No, you can't rig those. We've done those. No, you can't rig them.
You can't rig them, trust me. But no, so that's awesome. So in honor of Yoshi, and also finding out he's on Cameo, that's cool too. I'm gonna go over with Yoshi.
I would hate to know the lines that he gives Yoshi to say to him
on the
Cameo, because it's absolutely happening. Greg, you are my best friend, and I love you. And I love your shirtless videos whenever I score touchdowns.
Oh, yeah.
And I will come on Bengals and Bruises legally binding verbal contract.
Yes.
There you go.
I wonder if we did that on Cameo and he said it like, did it work?
He probably wouldn't say it.
Let's do it. It's only $80.
This man went to Princeton. He's not fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
But the line is 22.5. Greg obviously takes the over. Man, I don't know. It's hit or miss. It's this or that. We thought he had the big fumble, but he didn't quite have possession. Thank God that was the correct call. Thank God he didn't have possession, because it would have been. Had he just had a little more possession of that ball before it was knocked out of there. But I'm going to say under. I don't know. It's just I think Jamar, Chase Brown, I can't – I did say under on Higgins, but I think the chases – dominate, and Gesicki's coming up, and I'm gonna go under, but still like 20 yards, 2 catches, blah 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 blah. Maybe a touchdown, because
it'll be some critical catches too. It's not like because he's been making some critical plays for us.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, so you're saying over or under?
I'm going to take the under on it.
Damn it, Derek! You had a chance for.
But I was agreeing with you, Dale. I think he'll get like 20 yards, 22 yards, something like that, and maybe 3 catches. But they'll be on like some crucial third down. Got to have it.
It's fair. Okonkwo. I I don't fucking know. Chiggy.
Okuwanku.
Chiggy-O. Chiggy-O.
Yeah, they call him Chiggy.
Chiggy. Oh, that could be racist.
Getting chiggy with it.
26.5 yards. I'm going to say over. I know nothing. No prep again this week because that worked out well last week. So no prep for this, for the over-unders, none of it. Don't have all that in front of me. So literally just going to say over because our defense.
I'm going to say over, too, because it's just week after week, us against the tight ends, it does not pan out well.
Yeah,
I'll say barely over.
All right. Well, moving on to Mike Gesicki, 22.5. I'll say over. 2 catches, 23 yards.
I'm going to say over as well, and I'm going 1 catch, 25 yards.
Oh, dude, I'm at the tipping line on this one. You know what? My guy Yoshi's just going to go off like crazy. I'm going to go slightly under.
All right. So then another made-up player on their team, Nick Westbrook Akine, which people were saying, Tyler Bowles said he's getting 50-yard touchdowns like crazy recently.
Yep.
So his over-under is 37.5. I'll say over. He's going to get 1 50-yard touchdown because Tyler Bowles told me to say it, so I'm going to say it.
Yep. In fantasy football this week, they were talking about him being a possible waiver wire target because he's just every week here lately he's been getting 1 catch for a big gain. So I'm going to say over as well. I think he gets like 30, 40 yards. I'll say
if he gets
40. Go ahead.
I was just going to say if he gets it and he gets a touchdown on the big play for fantasy, that's what you need right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking 40 yards?
Yeah.
I know nothing about any of these players. So I appreciate anything the Brew Crew has to offer as well. But we will move on to the money line. Bengals, 4.5-point favorites. Over under 46.5. You know what's crazy? I said bet all your money on the over. I literally hope no one ever takes our gambling advice because
I know, right?
it was the under last week. Shocking, right? That we would be wrong. It happens.
I took our gambling advice.
Well, you took the over.
I took the over.
So you taking the over this week on the 46.5 and score prediction, Mr. Derek. I mean, Orange.
I am going to go. 46.5. I'm going to say 27-20 again. Just hits the over.
I'll go barely over.
What was your score prediction, Derek?
27-20.
20. So the exact same as last week.
The exact same.
Greg, what's your score prediction?
I'm going to get a little creative here. 39-27 Bengals.
You said slightly over.
Oh, screw it then.
What's the over 40? Man, I hate this. So bet the under because I'm going to also take the over. Derek said 27-20. I'm going to say 27-21 Bengals. There's zero reasoning behind that.
I like it. And that's the hard-hitting analysis you get from Bengals and Brews.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be – all right, someone's got to – Greg, come on the screen. Derek, come on the screen.
All right, hold on.
Oh, put your pants back on.
Yeah, I know. What's up? Why don't you come back on screen?
Well, ripping a heater, bud.
Okay.
It's not after dark.
Okay.
I only rip heaters when I give zero fucks.
I thought you were naked.
No, it's definitely too cold in the garage for that.
No, okay.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any key matchups for this game?
Oh,
I've done zero prep.
I'll tell you a good key matchup. So, well, here's a question. So, okay, are Snead and Awuzie, who would be guarding Chase? Who's guarding Higgins?
I'd say Awuzie is definitely guarding Chase because since he's come back, he's been playing really, really well.
All right,
do they travel? Because that's the thing. A lot of teams, they'll just keep their corners on it. I don't know the answer to that. Once again, zero prep work. No idea if they have their corners travel. But we don't normally have our corners travel, I don't feel like. And CTV started traveling. Wow, that just sounds weird. Traveling like in basketball. Anyways, he started following CeeDee Lamb, moving around with CeeDee Lamb after his big first quarter. And I feel like started shutting him down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't ever remember Awuzie traveling at all.
Yeah, I don't really either. So my thought with that is the way we've been, and Chase said in his press conference, he feels like the reason he's had more success this season is because they've moved him around so much and they can't just, predict what he's doing from one spot. He's moving around. He's in motion. He's lined up here. He's lined up in the slot. I think that continues. And if they don't travel, I mean, no matter how much attention they give to him, if anything, it's going to open up other people.
Yeah.
By doing that. If you got to give attention to him while he's moving all around, well, that's got everybody a little on edge on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, you got a key matchup?
Yes, I'll go Awuzie and Chase. But no, I'll tell you another one. This is going to be put to the test. Simmons against the interior line.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah. I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that's going to be fun and exciting is Mike Hilton, Tyler Boyd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's part of it, right? Like we want when Cheeto is on Chase, even if it's not all the time, Hilton being on Boyd, like those matchups, they win it against each other in practice, and seeing those out there on a football field will be interesting. I mean, for me, my key matchup is Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan. And maybe even throw a little Dan Pitcher in there. Maybe Dan Pitcher says, "Nah, I got this, Zach." He don't know what's about to happen.
I love it.
I like,
and
this
that's one thing that
from Chris Crowley.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
Trey versus J.C. Latham out of Alabama.
Oh, Dale, I know you were all over Latham. I think you were happy Latham went in the top 10, weren't you? Because you were not.
I liked him. I liked him quite a bit. The thing was, there were so many people talking about well, Alabama tackles haven't worked out, and that's fair. That's fair, but you can't scout that way. And he's playing left tackle. He's not even playing right tackle for them and playing it well. I didn't necessarily see that coming.
Okay. But, I remember a lot. I know he was getting very overrated. I don't think you had him in the top 10, though, did you?
No, but I mean, who can argue? I mean, they went and they invested in the trenches. They invested in the man meat. We always talk about the man meat. They got him and Tavondre Sweat, which we didn't even mention. How's he doing?
Shit.
I think he's been doing good. So you got him and Simmons.
But Dale, I want to go back to it. I want to go back to Latham. Look who their offensive line coach is.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And look at Cleveland, how much they regressed.
Yeah, tell me if that's a coincidence right there.
Now, that's one thing I never understood, how we couldn't find some way, somehow, to get Bill Callahan to coach our O-line when we had Brian for those years. Because, man, I swear to God, he probably made Isaiah Prince look like a fucking actual Prince.
Neil, somebody did tell me they tried.
Yeah, I think I heard that the Browns blocked him or something.
Yeah, no, I think when he was with Washington at the time, they blocked it from. I forget how it happened or something, but someone told me, "No, Dale. Oh my gosh, if we would have had, oh gosh." But yeah, Callahan. I mean, you tell me if it's a coincidence, Dale, because I sure as hell don't think it is.
Yeah. They still have holes on that O line, though. I believe But Latham is definitely a piece for them. But you know what? It kind of worked out for us too because Mims certainly looks like a piece. So I want to see him again, whether it's I don't know who lines up or who will be coming from that side, Harold Landry, all these different guys. The other guy out of LSU. No, that might be Landry. I don't know. That's where I'm sitting. But yeah, I want to see Mims continue to hold up decent, right? He's held up decent. Like I feel like he's getting almost overpropped. Listen, I think that was a great first round pick. He's a rookie. But I'd be lying if I said that he's almost getting glazed a little much right now.
Yeah.
Because his misses and he holds quite a bit that gets called and doesn't get called.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me that watches it. I still think he's very good and going to be good. I just think I don't know that. I think he'll get worse the longer Pollock's here. I don't think Pollock is the guy to coach. I think he's getting coaching from Orlando Brown.
Yeah. Here's a key matchup for y'all. Who do you think knows out of every defensive coordinator in the league? Who do you think knows the Brian Callahan system the most?
Zach Taylor?
It's got to be Lou Anarumo, right?
Lou Anarumo, duh.
So,
yeah.
As much as I hate to say it, there's a very good chance that Lou cooks once again.
We'll see. Why not? It wouldn't surprise me. Defense has played well last week. I could see him play well again.
Well, I would speed up Will Levis. Like that's one thing that they should do, and they should have been doing this all year. Multiple looks, exotic blitzes, all them fancy words, but just not doing the same shit over and over.
Exactly.
Bringing people from the same spots, dropping out or not, because they'll put people up on the line. But it's still like, well, we know they're dropping out. We know they're doing this. It's the same shit they do. And I feel like last week they mixed things up. Continue to do it, right? We finally got our revenge on Cooper Rush. Fuck you, Cooper Rush. You fucked Derek's money over.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Cooper.
Good job, Lou. Yeah, I've had that. This is Pepsi Zero. It's pretty good too, Crip. But yeah, Dr. Pepper is pretty good. Yeah, I had that.
Sounds pretty good.
And Crowley says the under for the rushing, which I think I did take the under, but I think he can still get some, and that's what I mean. Like get him out in space, and I think he's going to eat as a receiver. He's playing really well. No, I did take the over because I thought he might hit a big one, and he still could.
Yeah,
you can get Chase Brown on the outside, man. It just it doesn't have to be right up the middle. Like fuck.
That speed,
right up the middle sounds like some shit Ryan Day would do. Just saying. Derek, you were saying something.
But I'm excited for this weekend.
Yeah,
I was just about to say I'm really excited for this weekend, man. Like I know last week we were talking. Do we want them to win? And now they won one, and we're all like, yeah, let's go win them all.
I said I wanted us to win out. To be fair, I said that. Here I go again, Crip, blowing my own self. But you want to see players perform because a lot of these players are still going to be here next year. You want to see improvement. You want to, whether the D coordinator's here or not, you want to see better performance from players. You want to see better.
That was one thing.
And Burrow and Chase, I just want to continue to see greatness. Watch greatness.
Yeah. Right. That was one thing that I forget which podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about, down the stretch, we have got to figure out who on this defense you can build around. Because prior to last week, the answer was zero. Nobody. So you want to see if down the stretch here, if you can find some guys that you can actually build this team around.
Yes. And that's why I wish like DJ Turner and Dax Hill and those guys wouldn't have got injured just because I need to see more of both of them guys.
Yeah.
And Hilton, man, like when they put him in, like that's the thing. We know what Hilton's good at. We've known it for years, right? It's blitzing off the edge, it's close to the line of scrimmage, it's tackling, it's doing those things. When you put him out in coverage, it's not him. He's going to be a tough one on letting him leave or not next year. So early in that game, he gives up that touchdown. It's like, this motherfucker can't cover. He's making this decision easy. I tweeted that out. He's making this decision easy on keeping him. Then you see him up to the line of scrimmage. You see him doing the things that he does best, and you're like, fuck. And then I always think the leadership. Do you lose the leadership of a Mike Hilton when you've already lost? And I'm not saying Joe Mixon as a player.
Right.
The leadership of Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, the leadership of Tyler Boyd, because we'll see. Maybe Tyler Boyd will cook us. He wasn't even on that list, but of players, receivers for the over-unders. But, I don't know. I want to continue to see. And Jordan Battle, I want to see some big plays from him. I would like to see more Miles Murphy. Joseph Osai has 3 sacks in the last 3 games.
Yep.
That he's making a difficult decision on. Okay, how do you just, not? I mean, you at least got to try to re-sign him, I think.
Yeah.
A Robert Saleh. I think what a Robert Saleh could do for him, he would be elite with Robert Saleh. But this is me in my fantasy world that we're going to get Robert Saleh as deep.
Oh, yeah. But I want to go back to Dale quickly. I'm sorry to call him out, but that one touchdown he gave, did it not look like he just didn't try at the end or something? I'm sorry. That was embarrassing.
Who, Hilton?
Hilton, yeah.
He got beat. I mean, there was really no – it was just like he got beat immediately, and then what do you do after that?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to pressure him. They were trying to pressure rush, and they did. But he got it out, floated it out, and it was just like he was going to be beat, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
It just looked really bad because now, you know what wouldn't have looked bad if they got enough pressure that he had, got the ball knocked down or, got sacked or, it was one of those things.
No, I understand.
But, why is Hilton even on CeeDee Lamb, though?
Right.
Yeah.
That even though Luke cooked up a good game plan, that was one of the, and it was like, oh, here we go again.
That was
losing the lab.
What they call the face in your palm of your hands moment, where you're just like, Jesus, here we go.
Yeah, he is. I can't argue with that, overzealous. He is too slow coverage, crossing routes, just outs. He's smart. He's technically smart, but if it comes down to a pure speed, this and that, and that's why you don't want him in those situations. And that's what makes it tough, right? He'll have to come back on a team-friendly deal, and you'll have to utilize him where it's like, hey, we're bringing you – you're coming off the edge. But then they're going to know that too. He can drop and cut. He just can't – you can't leave him on an island to cover anybody.
No, you're right, Dale. No. I see your defense right there. Now, here's a good – make a defense for the refs missing on that face mask call on Joe Burrow.
Oh, well, geez, Pete.
That rule needs change. And
why
I want
would
to it's happened with the Bengals and it shouldn't have to be a challenge, but it's happened with the Bengals 3-4 times this season. But there's also, I go back to not just the Bengals, but the Vikings. Sam Darnold, right? Yes. In the end zone. Listen, they were down. It was a lot, but that's a first down. Plain as day, ends the game, and you missed that call, and it was heavily debated.
No, the defensive player that face mask and he didn't get called. He even expected it. He even thought it was going to be a flag himself.
But how many things like turnovers, this, that, and the other, whether you're in the end zone or not, that they have it because these people are in New York or whatever.
Right.
They're watching the games, the replay people, and they can buzz down and say, no, you got this wrong. You got this right. Confirmed, not confirmed on touchdowns, interceptions. You can't tell me that they can't at least buzz down and say it needs to be reviewed.
Yes.
But you could buzz down and say it's a clear face mask. That's a penalty. And then they throw the flag and they say we were buzzed in by New York, clear penalty. Boom. The people you're on the road. People want to boo. you put it on the fucking Jumbotron so they can boo the fucking correct call. Because the obvious ones, because you could snap someone's fucking neck.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, it's dangerous. It's not just like me being a homer. Like, that's a very fucking dangerous play. These face masks, and they try to get that shit, just like the horse collar, this, that, and the other way. It snaps you back. They try to get this shit out of the game by being so serious about it. But then you can't make small steps. You're missing these on the field. Hey, number one, we know your refs suck. They're inept. We understand that. Okay, help them out by having these people who are sitting in a nice, warm fucking building watching football on TV. There's no other game on Monday Night Football. It's embarrassing for the NFL, and they continue to do this shit.
No, it is so embarrassing. And you know what, Dale? Speaking of embarrassing, this goes to my next topic. Micah Parsons. I get it, you're a competitor. I get it that pump block was very unfortunate, but dude, that was a bad look on you walking off the field like that. I'm sorry. You know, as Michael Jordan said, no matter how hard a loss is, you always shake hands at the end of the game, no matter how hard a loss is.
Yep.
We lost Dale, but then we went out there. So then, funny, it's kind of ironic. He goes on a show and says, "I just had that competitiveness like Michael Jordan and all." And I thought that was so ironic he said that because I'm like, well, Michael Jordan always shook hands after a game, and don't put yourself up with Michael Jordan in that type of thing. So I'm sorry, Michael Parsons, great player. I like Michael Parsons, but I'm sorry, that was a bad look on you walking off the field like that. Just that's just being a sore loser. Am I right?
Yep, absolutely. I am not a fan of that at all.
Me neither. I guess we'll wait for Dale to get back on, I guess. But yeah, I just thought, I'm like, come on. But I said, tell you what, he did go on his show, and he says, look, Joe, he was complimenting Joe Burrow, though. He says all he needs is a defense. So, Michael Parsons, if you're frustrated, man, we won't be against having you come here to Cincinnati.
Yep, absolutely.
Exactly. Here. Dale's back on.
We got him back?
I heard a beep sound. Hey,
there he
Dale.
is.
No, my extender went out, so I had to switch the wire. Everything froze out the connection.
But so Dale, I was talking about Michael Parsons. That was a bad look. He goes on his own show, compares himself to Michael Jordan competitiveness, where that's so ironic because I said to myself, remember what Michael Jordan said, no matter how hard of a loss is, you always shake hands. I get it. He was mad and frustrated, but that is a bad look when you walk off the field like that.
Well, he said it was a no-win situation is one of the things I saw of if he goes out there and he's like all chummy with Joe Burrow, because he has praised Joe Burrow more than I think. I mean,
no, he won. He
praises him a lot, and he says he should be MVP.
And I would welcome him here, but I'm just saying that was a bad look, though, right there.
No, it's a bad look, but at the same point in time, he knew he was pissed off. Like that is a crazy thing that happened. And
it is.
The Leon Lett thing, it happened to that franchise before.
Yeah.
Hell, it happened to him in 2021.
No.
He's going around. It happened to them in another regular season game just a few years ago.
But like I say, be that as it may, as unfortunate that is, you still show your sportsmanship by shaking hands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you might quickly walk out. Yeah, don't be all chummy, but walk out and be like, good game, and then you go off. But you made it about yourself for a minute. Intentionally or not, but man, I'm sorry. For me personally, I would take a guy who cares that much, to be pissed off that walks off and looks bad.
That's
what I mean.
I get your point right there. Well, like when Pat Mahomes went over to shake Allen's hand last year, and he was still all salty about the when it was clearly that receiver's offsides. That was way worse. He should have just walked off the field and act that way towards Allen. So I do get what you're saying, Dale.
I didn't. I just wanted to get this one in too before we get off.
I promise. Yeah.
But Matt says, "What about the guy quitting last? Devondre Campbell." I didn't watch that game, which it was 12-6. I seen the score this morning, and I was like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't watch that one."
Yeah.
Sounds like a terrible game. Brock Purdy, not a top 5, Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine he was surrounded by one of the best O-lines, one of the best defenses. We want to crown these people. Joe Burrow's done this with no O-line. He's done it with terrible defenses. He's done it through it all before you just crown people, by the way.
Yeah.
But, quitting on your team like that.
That's
Whew,
horrible.
that's a bad look, man.
That is
Yeah.
wow.
Talk about bad looks.
And
right
he has
there.
tweeted in the past. It showed tweets in the past. He's like, maybe I should become a male model. I want to protect my body or something. Then he said all types of tweets like that in the past. It's like, seriously?
Greg
All right.
did a deep dive.
No, it
Yeah.
popped up on someone on Twitter looked into it and found the whole tweets in his past. I didn't do a deep dive.
You got to go
All right,
there.
real quick. I was just going to say real quick before because I'm getting really close to losing service. But two real quick things that I wanted to talk about. The one thing that has to do with the previous game, and then one thing about the game coming up. Previous game, Simpsons, fucking
Ugh.
terrible. Oh my gosh, it was the worst thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. NFL, please do not do that again because that was.
To be fair, I think the clips are fun. They're fun for kids. Like, they're fun for what they are. As adults, you don't have to tune in. There's the regular versions. There's the Manicast. There's 8 other ways to watch Derek.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the
I started
SpongeBob
out watching it, and then I was like, man, why is this so late? And I looked and I saw we went 3 and out, and I'm like, yep, turn it off. I can't fucking do this.
But now the Nickelodeon way they did it, they showed the actual game, but I liked how they did the slime thing. That was cool.
I do like that. I
Yeah.
do like that. And then the last thing about the Tennessee Titans, they have statistically and historically one of the worst special teams in the league. So that's something we need to look into. Isaiah Williams, do we get some good returns out of him? Set us up for some good fields. That's one thing.
He
I'm
showed some
excited to watch.
flashes. He showed some flashes. And then, he had a little like, I don't know. So, but still think it was better than Trenton Irwin. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. But shout out T.I. going to Carolina, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Playoff bound. Carolina bound.
Dale,
Yeah.
not to
hey, they're
interrupt you.
favored this week.
Loveland, a tight end for Michigan, just to declared for the draft. I think you were kind of high. I know we don't need a tight end. I think you were kinda
He's behind
We
Tyler
absolutely need
Warren
a tight
for
end.
me. He's behind. Yeah, we might need a tight end, but he's behind. He's going to the Chargers if he's there in the late first.
Okay.
He's going with Jim Harbaugh, and it'll be a monster for
Yeah.
that. He's very good. Like, him and Warren are like neck and neck for me as tight end 1. But I just like Warren more because he's fucking like 6'6", 260. So he could do everything.
Mhm.
Not just that they also used him as like a wildcat.
Right.
It's fucking insane what they do with Tyler Warren at Penn State.
And seeing what, and I can't stand him, but seeing what Harbaugh is doing with Big Montana Will Dissly, who has been kind of a bust the entire career he's played in the NFL. Imagine him getting a guy like that. Whoa.
Also, Mike Green has declared for the NFL draft from Marshall. And, man, he's like, I think I got him around, he's in my top 40. Not even top, he's in my top 40. Dude is a fucking immaculate pass rusher. I think he had 17 sacks this season. 17. And one of those came against Ohio State. So you can say, they don't play the competition. No, he's a fucking beast. Mike Green, man, name to watch. If you want an athletic pass rushing type, and before Marshall, he was originally at Virginia Tech. So it's not like this guy wasn't a guy, out of high school and stuff. He was a guy. It just didn't work out of Virginia Tech. He transferred to Marshall, and he was dominant, as you should be. So he's a fun one. All right.
Yeah.
Derek, I believe you're cutting out. Love you.
Yeah.
You're starting to cut out.
Hey, Dale, no, all right, look. Not trying to debate you. We can agree to disagree. I'm going to go back to Micah Parsons. I get what you're saying and all that. I do respect it. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. You still got to shake hands and all that. I get what you're saying, how passionate he is. It's just, in my opinion, like Jordan said, no matter how hard it is, no matter how painful it is, you always go out. And there was no more of a fierce competitor than Michael Jordan. He hated losing. He hated it with a passion. But you get what I'm still going to stand by what I'm going to say. But like I say, when I take Micah Parsons on the Bengals, welcome. I would go pick him up at the airport right now.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad look to not show sportsmanship, but I'm saying I think it's more he was fucking pissed the fuck off. that his team lost and how they lost, and that his defense just got a stop against the Bengals and Joe Burrow, and they're giving them the ball.
Right.
They even blocked, he's just like, he's fucking livid, man. Yeah. And I mean, for me personally, I would rather have a guy like that on my team that cares so much. They're so fucking angry that they lost.
You go to Mike Brown's office, and Mike Brown's like, look, I don't like the way how he walked off on the field. Your argument would be, look, I get what you're saying, but I want that fierce competitor on my team right now. No, that's a good argument. Like I say, I just wanted to, I'm not trying to fight.
Well, and then Zach, too, as a player, as Micah Parsons is whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know anything he's done negatively to affect his team beyond that. So, like, if that's all it is, maybe there's some stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, you don't know the internal stuff and all that. But, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though, Dale.
But I'm saying, like, Zach Taylor came out and said, we haven't game planned for a guy as much as we have Micah Parsons this past game. Well, and we play in the division with TJ Watt and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and that's a big, I didn't see that, and that's a big.
So, like, as a talent, incredible talent, but that competitive spirit, I feel like it's not a good look to just walk off that court or court, field, whatever, diamond, whatever, and not do that. But it's like, fuck this. Nah, we lost. I'm pissed off. I ain't in the mindset to go out here and pretend to be nice, shake hands, and hand someone a jersey. I'm okay with that. But someone not being okay with that, I'm okay with that too.
Well, I want to switch here. Going to the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons when Isaiah Thomas, all of them walked off the court. I'm just curious, what was your take on that? At
the time, I don't remember watching that.
Dude, I was 3 years old.
That's what I was going to say. Like, the fuck.
Okay, well, you saw the highlights and all that and stuff. I don't know if you saw the documentaries or anything. I mean, I guess that's a little different. I guess it depends on the situation and all that. I mean, that's just always my mentality and all that. But I get what
I would rather. Okay, so I guess I would rather teams just not shake hands and not pretend to be friendly after they just went to war. You can be friends after. Well, just done with war. You're probably not fucking going and fucking having soup together. After
Michigan, Ohio State, they cannot shake hands after a game.
And I mean, in general, like the tensions are high, this, that, and other. I'm just saying the NFL does a good job because these guys make money and they go out there. Right. But do you really see that in college football? I mean, you see you do. Well, yeah, you do, I guess. You see the players usually, but you know what? If a player walks off, you don't see it because they don't. Micah Parsons is just Micah Parsons. The NFL loves to draw attention to some shit.
They do. They do. I'm saying no, and like I say,
But how many guys in college do you think are like, fuck that, I ain't going out to shake hands. I'm just going to the locker room.
Dale, you got a good point because the camera's always on Micah Parsons. You don't see the cameras on the other. Dale, you make a good point right there. Maybe it happens more than we think. We just don't see it.
Which famous calendar, Crip, are you talking about? You talking about the Die Hard? You got the Die Hard? Yeah.
It's never breaking. I've had bobbleheads that are broken. I have everything that broken, but not the stupid calendar that Chop sent me.
Probably not. So he's like Brandon Whedon's age already as a rookie. No, he's 25 though. Going to be 26. The tight end, Tanner McLaughlin out of Arizona. Yeah, can't even be active. I think that you can say, oh, he got a slow start and can't, this, that, and other. But the fact that they've had the other guy active for a couple weeks, signed him to the active roster. I can't even remember his name. Big some bitch that they brought up. You know who I'm talking about, Greg?
Who's this now?
The tight end, the big guy that was on the practice squad. He's a better blocker.
Gander?
Huh?
Is his last name? Yeah, he was in the first series. It was a Gander. He's number 85. Gander.
Gandy.
Right?
Gandy. Yeah.
Gandy.
The Gandy man.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Yeah.
But it says a lot. Like, I don't know. But they've rostered him all year, so I hope they have plans for him. But I do think they need to re-sign Gesicki. I mean, I know you can chase tight ends. You can do this. Eric, all the injuries that worried about pre-draft, but man, he looked good when he's healthy. And also Samples here. McLaughlin's here. I think Hudson's probably gone, but Hudson, he makes a catch here or there that's like, but the ball security is scary.
Well, let me ask you this.
Every time he makes a catch after that, I worry he's going to fumble it.
Let me ask you this. Say if your tight end room next year is Eric All, Drew Sample, and Tanner Hudson, what is your – I'd be nervous over that.
Well, Tanner McLaughlin.
He's not playing.
He'll be under contract.
He'll be under contract. I'm just saying, okay, those are your 4 tight ends. Are you satisfied?
Van Grandy, Drew Sample, Eric All, Tanner McLaughlin. That's your 4 tight ends.
I'm thinking to myself, come on. Yeah.
No, you need Gesicki. And, we need so much defensive help. I see no way that you don't just sign Mike Gesicki. Hey, a year, $4 million. I don't think Mike Gesicki's breaking the bank.
No, how old is he? 29 or 30? So he's not going to break the bank or anything. And
for another team either. Like he didn't have a year where I don't know. Hayden Hurst, he got that contract with Carolina. Maybe somebody gives Mike Gesicki, but there's 2 years in a row teams could have given him big contracts and they didn't.
Yeah, no, the Patriots, he got 1 year, $3 million. I was ticked off last year when he get Gesicki. I'm like, you mean to tell me we could have gotten Gesicki for 1 year, $4 million? I mean, I was so irritated with that last year. But yeah, like I say, I could get him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and I just think you got him and Eric All whenever he's healthy enough to come back. I mean, he came back quick off the Iowa injury. I mean, the man's had back injuries, ACL. I know he could get injured again. I'm not saying you count on him, but I'm just saying if you got a Gesicki as your receiving guy, because what they like to do with their tight ends is have them block.
Well, no. So who's been the third? If you had to pick, who's our third receiver mainly? Gesicki or Yoshi? Who has been our third receiver? Who has replaced Tyler Boyd, in your opinion, this season?
I think consistently it's more Yoshi. But I think the big games, especially when T's out, it goes straight to Gesicki. So it's almost like Gesicki is overall.
Right.
I mean,
Gesicki is a slot receiver. He's pretty much a slot receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, because he can't block for shit.
Yeah, but use him as the slot. Yeah, no, we all know about that. Yeah. But yeah, Yoshi, though, look. Yoshi, I got people telling me, Yoshi, was he having the season I hoped? Obviously not. But look, just because Yoshi, look, if T left and Yoshi's your number 2, I'll be one of the first people to tell you we got a problem right here, right? I love Yoshi, but but just because he's not number 2 doesn't mean he's a bust or anything. He's still great in red zone targets. He could be a number 3. I look at him as mainly a 4, but he's still doesn't mean that's not a bad thing though or anything. He's still a great red zone target. You can still use him in certain situations, and he's made some big catches too. He almost made a very costly fumble yesterday, which thank God was an incomplete catch, but he still can be useful for you in some situations.
Yeah, I think Yoshi's a piece. He's a 6th-round pick. Honestly, man, I don't think any of us said, oh, he's a starter coming into this year. Oh, you did. But he has been as the third receiver in this offense. I don't know. He's been okay. And it's okay to be okay.
It's okay to be okay, yeah. Burrow. I mean, I love Trenton Irwin, but compared to him, he still has, you got to remember also, he didn't play football. I don't think he played football until his late teens or something. So he started football very late. I still think.
Well, and he was doing track at Princeton. This is only his 2nd year strictly focusing on football.
Right.
There's upside there.
I know he's 20. I think he's still 25, 26. I still think he can develop. I still think that. If he's coming in as your 4th receiver, that's a damn good situation you're in right there.
Basically, Greg thinks Yoshi's a piece of ass in his freezer. Piece of cake.
Yes, I have. No, I have watched MNF.
I don't know what. No.
It's the Jim Henson. It's a Jim Henson movie. So funny thing, Crypt. I haven't watched it quite some time, but I came across it somewhere and I watched it. It is actually really good. I do like Emmett Otter.
Okay, Emmett Otter. You heard it here first. Greatest Christmas movie ever. Crypt Keeper.
By the way, shout out to Lindsay Patterson, who has my side on Home Alone 2. I've seen her tweeting about it. # listen to Lindsay.
# Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Suck it, Greg. Suck it.
Okay, you know what? Hey, to each his own, but hey, That's cool. But you know what? Ask Corey Dillon. Dale, ask Corey Dillon what he thinks.
I don't give a fuck about Corey Dillon. Fucking line it up in Oklahoma, Corey. Fuck you. I'll truck your bitch ass. Just kidding, Corey. Just fucking kidding. No one clip that. No one fucking clip that. I swear to God. He will run me over. That would be so fucking embarrassing.
Well, you saw what he did to me when I did my ranking. Like I say, when I do my rankings for Midwest Best, believe me when I say this, because some people say I can't rank them. It's not which one is the worst. If one finishes last, it's not because it's bad. It's just because the others are just so much. I like so much more. All of them, you cannot go wrong with anything. It just depends on what you like. Okay?
All right, Chris. Real talk. He says Lethal Weapon is better than Die Hard.
Yeah, you know what?
You know what, motherfucker?
Okay.
Time out, Greg. I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
Movie-wise, yes, you're right. I do but I need to watch Lethal Weapon again. But man, Lethal Weapon was so good.
I fucking
love Lethal Weapon, to be honest. I love Lethal Weapon more than Die Hard. The Die Hard thing is basically about giving Greg shit at this point. But
hey, Dale, so if Die Hard's a Christmas movie, let's go to Batman Returns. It's around Christmas. Should we call Batman Returns a Christmas movie? We've had this discussion. Should that be let in as a Christmas movie?
I mean, you can.
No.
I don't care.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point, Dale.
I got the point. I said I don't care. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me.
Affects me, trust me.
I mean, my favorite Christmas movie is Elf, and I see people like, Elf's not good. And I'm like,
what? No, I like Elf. I like Elf.
I mean, Home Alone 2, good Christmas movie. I think it's a good Christmas movie. Now we start talking about Christmas Story. I'm like,
I get where people don't like it, but
start talking about Wonderful Life. It's like,
whoa!
Like only losers say shit like that. They like that shit. Like,
whoa! Back off on It's a Wonderful Life. That's a good one.
Just because old don't make it good.
My dad got me. It took my dad 20 years to watch that, Dale. 20 years, but it's awesome.
Okay.
I know it's okay. We're cool. You got me a little flustered.
All right, boys. We're an hour and a half in. It's been fun. It's been real, but it ain't been real fun because we're 5-8. But keep stacking them wins. Keep enjoying greatness like last week. We got to enjoy greatness. That's what I said last week. Man, I'm just going to try to enjoy
exactly
the special season of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They go out there on Monday Night Football, put up 300 and some yards, 3 tutties for Joe, 14 catches, 177 yards for Jamar. Thank you. And Trey Hendrickson, who he'd been in a little rut, he fucking demolished that guy to help end that game on their last drive. I'm going to enjoy watching this team and the good players because they work their ass off to go and be great. I'm going to enjoy them being great. Geno Stone, you haven't been great. Last week you were pretty good, though, so you got a defensive game. Jingle all the way.
I've seen it. I just watched it.
You just watched it.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I asked Marissa if she wanted to watch it the other day, and she's like, no.
Oh.
I liked it. I haven't watched that movie in probably 20 years.
No, that's a good one.
I need to watch that.
Sinbad was hilarious in that. I liked it.
Shout out Sinbad. From The Lion King, Sinbad.